Welcome to the Millennial Body Image Project, where we dive into the unique and messy body image journey that continues to shape our generation.
And this is the Millennial Body Image Project Holiday Edition. We're here to help support your relationship with food and body image throughout the holidays. So sit tight as we take you through this series where you'll learn how to reframe your mindset, set boundaries, and ensure you can enjoy the holiday season without letting body image or food issues disqualify you from the joy and connection that this time of the year brings.
Because your body is not a problem to be fixed.
So we're going to be talking about social media pressure around the holidays.
Yes.
And if you listen to one of our episodes from a couple of weeks ago before Thanksgiving, this was about setting boundaries. And we talked about how it's important to decide what is the most important to you and then how you can set boundaries outside of that. With today, we're going to be talking more about social media and the ridiculousness that is out there and how we don't have to be a party to that ridiculousness and we don't have to take place or take part of that ridiculousness, and that you can protect your peace and you can protect your wallet and still have a great holiday season, which with lots of color and without the beige.
And you can still get fun, glitter, sparkle, freckles, of course. I was actually saying to a friend of ours the other day about how this is going against the beige vibes. Elodie said to me yesterday when we were putting them on her, she said, "Well, Mom, how long do you think they'll stay on?" I go, "Well, who cares? And plus, everyone could use a little sparkle in their lives. So why not let them last for as long as they last? Whatever. And if you want to put them back on the next day, you do you, little unicorn. You do you." So I think for me, when I think of the social media pressure that happens, I can't help but see this through a parental lens because I'm so bombarded by this stuff all the time. But I think it goes beyond that. I wonder if you feel that too, that same type of pressure to decorate your house as if Christmas has thrown up, like little elves have arrived and it's just like everywhere. Do you feel that?
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I love the joy of the holidays and I love holiday decorations. I am not a November 1st, my house is a Christmas explosion kind of person, but I'm also not like you must wait until the day after Thanksgiving to do your Christmas decorations. And whenever people start putting them up, I'm like, "Oh, that's great." The neighborhood that I used to live in, these neighbors would have a battle of the balloon blow-ups on their front lawn, and I was walking my dog one time, and
The battle?
I
I need more.
literally counted 28, like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, Santa, and we're not talking like little elves, right? We're talking some are the size of the house and everything in between. So, like, speaking of
Oh my
completely
God.
unnecessary things, but also that brings other people joy, and I don't have any financial stake in this. You do that all you want. But what we're saying is do not feel like you have to measure up to the 28 balloon floaties on your front lawn and then also feel like your house has to explode with all the holiday decorations. And further, don't feel like you need to buy new stuff every single year. Because
Oh my God.
that's something that I get marketed towards every year. People are like, "Oh, here are all the holiday things that we're buying this year." I'm like, "Didn't we buy stuff last year and the year
Oh
before and
my
the year
God.
before and the year before?" And my approach to this is I will buy a few little things each year if I really feel like they're going to enhance my collection. I try not to buy a whole bunch of different things at once. I also try to buy things during the year. Like my boyfriend and I like to get a new ornament when we travel, and I've always loved to do that before.
I agree with you though about getting a little something, but there is this pressure to buy all this stuff. And as a Costco family, right? We're a family of 4 now, and so we've entered the Costco era of our lives. It is hard to resist because and also when you're telling the story about the inflatable things on the lawns, I was thinking immediately pictured my little city house that has like a 10 by 10 little tiny little section in the front of our house. But we went to Costco and there was this really cute blow up holiday bluey family that I wanted so badly. And Casey turned to me, he goes, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I really want to get this bluey family because it's so stinking cute." And I also am like a little bit of a why the hell not kind of thing. But then he said, Christina, we are not spending $200 on a bluey thing because you're like, oh, it's cute.
Yeah. So actually,
So,
we did really want to talk about the financial part of this
yeah.
because this whole year, and I feel like we say this year after year, but it just continues to get worse, is like the economy is just not great and all of us are feeling it. And so, on the one hand, it really feels, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be buying anything new. Like, I want to save specific gifts and other things and
Or
experiences.
traveling to go see family and
Exactly, and
like
doing stuff
all of
like
the
that,
things.
and at the same time, with how stressful it is out here, it's also very understandable if you're like, "Fuck it, I just wanna do all of the holiday things, and I wanna buy the Bluey blow up, and I wanna buy the viral Christmas tree that was in Costco in August, by the way. Can they chill out, please?"
Oh
Right?
my God,
So,
no.
like
I went to Michael's the other day, like right before the day of Halloween. Everything from Halloween was gone. On Halloween, gone, and it was all Christmas shit everywhere. It was insane.
can we just have the holidays as they happen and then move to the next one? This is always my stance. Is I love Christmas as much as the next person, right? But if we haven't celebrated Halloween yet, I'm not in the Christmas mood. I'm in the witchy mood. I want all the fall leaves. I want all the orange and black and all the cats and whatever, all the things.
It's also very confusing when it's 80 degrees outside and it doesn't feel like we've had fall yet and we're jumping to Frosty the
Yeah,
Snowman. I'm
exactly.
not ready yet. I'm still wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Well, when this episode's coming out, it's December 11th, so hopefully we're not wearing shorts and t-shirts at that time. But who knows? Global warming.
It's here.
Okay, we really are bouncing around a little bit here, but we just wanted to make sure that we mentioned before we go on to the rest of the episode that over the last week, I guess, we've had 2 bonus episodes come out following our ADHD and kind of overcoming holiday overwhelm with ADHD episode. The first one that came out a couple of days ago is called Your ADHD Holiday Survival Kit. And then the one that will be coming out in a couple of days, specifically talking about health promoting behaviors, whether or not you have ADHD. It's going to be all about how to incorporate gentle nutrition during the holidays. So we highly recommend that you go check out both of those on Patreon. And of course, the links will be in the show notes to both of those episodes and the little PDF resource that guides you through how to use gentle nutrition during the holidays as well.
We are really bouncing around
Yeah,
here,
we're doing
guys.
great.
But okay. So I think the idea that we want to say around letting go of the social pressure, I think you're getting the idea here is that there are so many things coming at you in every way. And I think ultimately for me, it comes down to deciding around, am I going to acknowledge that I'm getting influenced by things? Or am I in like let's just go with it. And I think that you can have that, right? But I also want to give people my favorite little phrase, permission slips, to shut off the influencers for a day or two. And I also want to remind people these influencers buy the product, wear them, try them on, show it displayed, write a review, box it back up, and send it the fuck
And they
back.
still make money off of you.
And they still make money off of you and they don't keep the stuff. So I just want to remind people of that. They don't have 9 different Christmas trees in their home perfectly curated for every room. They're doing that for a short little reel so that they can make money off of the affiliation dollars and all of that stuff, which no shade to them. Everyone's going to make a buck. Great business model. God, I would love to be unboxing stuff.
And making money off of it. Yeah.
And making money off it. That sounds great. But no, I also just want to remind people that you can remind yourself of that and say, whoa, I don't have to do this. And when you feel that immediate, oh, I need this immediately, I need to buy this right now. My little trick that I do, and I was telling Dean about before we recorded, that I've been putting everything in a wish list for myself. And then I go back to it a couple of days later and see if I actually want it or not. And I will tell you, 9 out of 10 times, I look at it like, I don't need this crap. Why do I need this crap?
Mhm.
Yes, it looked like meal prepping went a lot easier with this little chopper thing. It did. It looked a lot easier. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I can make a dense bean salad if I had the chopper thing in under 30 seconds. but then you go back and look at it later and it's not the same thing. I think the same thing happens with the plethora of Christmas tinsel that you can hang on every single different place and things like that. And to me, I look at like putting into a place for holiday decor or holiday things or gift guides for kids and pick a couple of things that you feel like would be really fun to incorporate in that might be special. Maybe it is splurging on the bluey inflatable thing at Costco or the cool tree that like builds itself up and lights itself, and because maybe that is taking stress off of your plate and making you more present in the holidays, right? Because you don't have to do all the things and you can just bloop, click a button, it closes itself up, and then you go about your life. Fantastic. But I think it's like important to remember that they're called influencers for a reason. And you can also decide to not be influenced by every single thing. And you can do that very strategically by doing a little detox, muting some of the biggest offenders in your feed that you love, and also pausing for a little while too. And I think that's also important because then we do get this like pressure to make everything perfect for the holidays. And most of the time, the idea behind the holidays is to spend time with our families and chill out, not to be running around with chickens with our heads cut off, buying a bunch of stuff we don't need and feeling overwhelmed by it. I don't
Mhm.
know. That's my 2 cents.
Yes. Some other suggestions that we have is for the holiday events and stuff that you have, instead of feeling like you need to buy new clothes for every
Oh, yeah.
occasion, something that we have both done in the past, and this is not sponsored, is to use something like Nuuly or Rent the Runway, which is one of these like rental clothing places where you pay for a certain amount of items for basically like an entire month with Nuuly, or for
Hmm.
Rent the Runway, it's usually for a specific event. And then you get it for between 4 and 8 days or something like that. So if you have a real fancy office party or something that you're going to, it is way cheaper to rent a dress or some kind of outfit from there than it is to buy an entirely new one, which you're not going to want to wear to next year's holiday party if you're trying to keep up with the new outfit every year thing, anyways. Right. So you're going to save some money by doing that. And then if you do something with Nuuly, I've only done it a few times, but I know you've done this frequently, Christina. It's a great way to rotate things through your wardrobe and see, do I like this style? Do I like this color? Do I like this fit without the commitment of actually having to buy it?
Yeah, no, I love that. I love Nuuly and I've been doing it for a while and I paused it over the summer. One thing I will say that you can do that I like about Nuuly too is that you can sign up for just a season and then pause it and then come back to it later. And it's built that way. It's very easy to pause and then pause it for 3 months or pause it for however long or cancel it after you're done. Like it's very easy to do that. So it doesn't feel like you're committing to something that's like long term, like a Stitch Fix or something like that, and then you still have to buy all the clothing afterwards. You have the option to buy something from Nuuly at a discounted rate if it's something that you really like. So you can do that. I also find Nuuly to be really fun for people who are wondering what their size is and trying on different styles, or you want to try something trendy, but you don't necessarily want to commit to owning a $250 jacket that might be over next year. It's like a great way of doing that. Maybe we don't need the vegan moto jacket forever, but we might want it for a couple of events. Myself, that's something that I definitely rented. So I think I love that idea and I've been a huge fan of it. And if you're looking, they have a whole section on the holidays and New Year's and all of the things too, which is really fun. So you can get in there if you can get all the sparkles and the thingies and all the fun little dresses
All
if
the
you have
sparkles
something
and the
going.
thingies.
I think that's the name of this episode.
The
The
sparkles and the
sparkles and
thingies. You really don't need them.
So but, yeah, I think that I love Nuuly, and I always tell people to do it and to use it. I find it to be really great. It's like a great way to engage in trends without being a full it's like a more, what's the word? Environmentally conscious way of engaging in some fast fashion, which I really enjoy. So,
Mhm.
that's something that I will say. Anything else about the social pressure? I feel like we've hit a lot of the overall points, and I think, like, in a way, I feel like this episode is really about giving permission to chill
Yeah.
And to not feel like when you have those feelings of, "Oh, I gotta get these," or I think one of the things, and I don't know, maybe I'm just talking from a parent's standpoint, there is this idea that if we don't do everything and the house is not, like, exploding for each holiday, that you feel like you're doing something wrong or that you're being, like, a shitty parent or you're not doing enough, and there's this layer of guilt associated with it, and I have to tell you, every time I feel that way and then I go and tell Elodie or something like, "Oh my gosh, we don't have the decorations, I need to buy this thing," or whatever, she always says to me, "Well, mom, can't we just make some stuff?" And every time I'm like, "Oh shit, you're right, 6-year-old, we can. We don't have to go on Amazon and buy all of the things and be heavily influenced by that. We might be able to buy a couple of things because I might have a vision for what I want decorated, but also including the kids in there." But there is this pressure as a parent to feel like you have to bring the magic, especially if you're the parent who is the magic bringer
Mhm.
and planning all that stuff. I feel like we've talked about this almost every season, but
It's a good reminder
I
every
just want
year.
every year, right? Because it happens every single year. And to me, the things that Elodie talks about with me that she really loves that she wants to do is I wanna roast marshmallows. I wanna make hot chocolate. I want to decorate the Christmas tree. I wanna do these little things. She doesn't care about whether or not we have this intricate hanging snowflakes from our ceiling that light up and are, like, doing all that. She does not care. She doesn't even know they exist, and she's alright without it. And I think sometimes when we give ourselves that permission to chill, we're actually able to do the thing that ultimately they're trying to sell you on, is the idea that you're making magic, but we don't need to buy their stuff in order to make the magic. We already have the magic at home.
Yeah. I would actually go back to that setting boundaries episodes that we did before Thanksgiving because we
Mm,
talked about there trying to figure out what is most important to you. And you can apply that to here as well. Is not only what is most important to you, but if one of the things that is important to you is making your house feel like it is holiday ish or themed or whatever, then you can think about how do I get there, knowing that you don't have to have an entire explosion of holiday in order to make your house feel like a holiday. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you can think
totally.
about what is the stuff that I have? Is there, and if you're thinking about buying something new, will this truly, this thing that I'm looking at that I have to buy or make is a great alternative because then you also get to do an activity, which can be really fun and really holiday. You put a little movie on in the background or something like that. But whatever it
Little music,
is this the thing?
Taylor Swift Christmas time.
Yes. Is this
Mm.
the thing that's going to make my house feel super cozy, super holiday, or whatever you're going for? Because most of the time, it's not just one thing, right? It's everything
Mhm.
together. So,
Yeah. No, I totally agree, and I really love that you brought up the previous episode about the boundaries because I do think it is about deciding what you want to engage in and what you don't wanna engage in, and what you wanted not so much. I think also too another layer, like what you mentioned too, is about how you want it to feel. How do you wanna feel this holiday season? I know that I don't wanna feel frantic.
my God.
And it can happen so easily, and one of the things that I'm doing actually to feel less frantic, and this is might sound interesting, but I have decided to decorate a lot earlier this year than I did in the past because we travel a lot. Because we have Casey's parents are divorced, so we have 2 households to go there, and then my family is in Virginia, and we're traveling places to see all my brothers and everyone as well. And so to me, I feel like sometimes when I would wait until after Thanksgiving to decorate, we didn't really get as much of the holiday time with everything.
Mhm.
And so I'm giving myself permission to do it slower and do it earlier. And I think that's something that I think everyone should curate for themselves around what would help me feel and our family feel like we can connect during this time in a nice way.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. We
More
bounced
holiday
around.
goodies coming up soon.
It is that. Okay. Um, Yuri, yeah, social media first. That sounds good.
You're looking very
Sparkly. Are we going to talk about it? Everybody, if you're watching, Or if you're listening, I have the viral Frazit. What are those glitter sparkle tattoo things for your face?
What they're
It's like
called?
glitter freckles. Yeah, they're called Frazits. Frazit. They're like the viral thing that Taylor Swift wore to a Chiefs game. And they've been out there. I've seen them on TikTok, on Instagram or whatever. They're super cute. And I've seen them on Amazon. And then she wore them to a Chiefs game and she looked so cute in them that everyone, the owner of the company, said, I cannot believe Taylor Swift is wearing my product that they bought off Amazon. And they're like, and she looked hella cute in them. And it's like the best marketing ever. And I don't think that there was any kind of affiliation between the two of them in any way, shape, or form. But they were like, and then they got sold out everywhere. And then every Swiftie in the world has gone. And I'm a closet Swiftie. So I immediately was like, well,
You're not a closet Swiftie.
I'm not a big out there Swiftie like real Swifties.
But you don't hide it.
No, I don't hide that I'm a Swiftie. I'm just not like yelling out off the rooftops like everyone else and going into debt, which is actually a wonderful segue into this.